Hello and welcome to Random Adventure. As we continue to explore the islands of the Pacific Ocean, today we are just north of the U.S. territory of Guam on Rota Island. We are on a 4-day dive trip and we are exploring. We will be heading out of their eastern boat harbor and headed down to Rota Hole and then back to their western boat harbor. It's going to be fun. Come and join. This is our second day of diving here on Rota, and this will be our second dive of the day. Our first dive was at tabletop number 1, and for dive number 2, Rota Hole is south in the Wedding Cake Conservation Area. Wedding Cake is the large mountain that is to the starboard side or right side of your screen currently that comes up out of the water and is elevated. This is a nature preserve, and there are a lot of opportunities to visit. It does have an amazing cliff face, and as you come around the point to see Rota Hole, you will have a glorious view of the rock face. Rota Hole, or Senhanon Cave, is a natural cavern with a small break in the ceiling of the cavern. That ceiling allows light to flow through into the water, creating a beam of underwater light, much like a transporter beam or a beam of God. This unique aspect can only be accomplished at certain hours of the day and on a sunny day. This, our first visit to Rota Hole, we had an overcast sky, and so while we had good lighting, we did not get that beam effect. We did, however, get that effect on our second dive of Rota Hole on day 3. And we'd recommend you go and look at that video as well if you are interested in seeing the effect. This dive is on an exposed edge of the island, and so it can have high currents at many times of the day. It is very common to have to drift in to the cavern and then to catch a drift on the way out. We got lucky and were able to moor just outside and then head in. Most of the entry is on the western side, and it is between 75 and 45 feet of depth before you head into the main cavern. So entering the cavern, you will see a large hole with a boulder in the center, and you can look up and you will see the twin holes where the light beams come from. And then if you look back, you can actually see where you entered from, and it creates a very beautiful blue hole effect that is horizontal from you. You should make sure to bring lights, as it can be dark in the cave, and it is actually really dark when the sunbeam occurs because of the difference in the light. In this kind of overcast condition, we actually had a reasonably level light, although the flashlights were extremely helpful in the back area where there is almost no light. As you transit around that boulder and into the dark section, you can definitely see the difference in the amount of light available. This is looking back at the entryway through the small opening, and you can see how much bluer it is in the main cavern compared to this back area where the darkness is almost permanent. Returning to the main cavern, we went ahead and took some photos and videos in the dappled light. With the cloud cover that we had, the light was changing a lot. We did, however, try to get a group shot here, and it does help if you actually align the camera or if you have a conversation with each other beforehand to try to discuss how and where you want to set up your group picture. In this case, we had problems communicating and we got everybody in a general row, but it did not turn out that well. We spent a lot of time between our first trip to Rota Hole and our second trip to Rota Hole discussing how to do the photos, so definitely recommend that you do some research, look at some pictures, and think about how you want to take your pictures if you plan to do any, whether it be air rings or transporter shots or pretending to be abducted by aliens. It's all up to you, but you should definitely plan for it because it makes it so much easier to execute once you're there. On the way out, you'll actually head to the left and away from the blue hole. This is a small side tunnel that you can go through. It is a nice swim through that has a almost T shape, and it is probably about 25 feet tall and about 10 feet wide at its widest, and it leads outside to a small coral shelf that's at about 15 to 20 feet of depth in the water. While we were doing our safety stop in this area, there is a unique type of coral that we had a lot of fun with. It is a coral that whenever you touch it, changes its color dramatically. So as you can see, with each touch, it turns this solid silver gray kind of white color. It is so neat, and we had a lot of fun going through and touching each coral and making it change its color. Having completed our safety stop here on the coral shelf, our boat was moored only about 50 to 60 feet away. So we went ahead and headed over, and we got a very nice surprise in a school of fish that we ran across on our way. It is always neat to see these moments that you do not expect. Then it was time to go ahead and rise to the surface and get back aboard. Getting back on the boat and heading out from Rota Hole, we headed west and then north around the Wedding Conservation Area into the Western Boat Harbor. The Western Boat Harbor had taken some damage due to a local typhoon, but it seems that they will allow us to use it for this visit. Once there, we will go ahead and hop off the boat and head in for our lunch before coming back for 2 more dives at Coral Gardens and Jerry's Reef. Overall, we really enjoyed Rota Hole. It was a great time and very unique. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you on the next one.